I want to say something. A prize, motherfucker.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. What's going on, everybody? As we all know, mental health is a huge piece for me. And recently, as I become a better version of myself, I've decided that it's time for me to go to therapy because I understand how life can be a little overwhelming and we all need help navigating through the trenches of military service in and out of uniform. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. First, all you got to do is go to their site. Matter of fact, you can use my link right here. Answer a few questions and BetterHelp will match you with a professional who has years of experience helping people with struggles just like yours. You can do it all from your phone or computer via phone call or video chat or messaging, however you feel most comfortable. It's the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. You will be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours so you can get started fast. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your home. Visit BetterHelp.com/MeechSpeaks and enjoy a special discount on your first month.
Like, we should have to come in here scripted when we did 4 episodes before. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And I think half of them weren't even scripted either. I think most of them were winged anyway. So
they were all just winged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we had an idea of something. You know what I mean? But then we just said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just rerun it and just see where we go from here.
Right. And the funny thing is that we end up doing better just winging it and just flowing with the conversation and the ideas than whatever we wrote.
Because we're normal people. We know how to talk. You know what I mean? We know how to talk. All right? So it's easy for us to do that. We know how to talk.
Right. Socialize. That's crazy.
You know, so with that being said, what's going on, everybody? It's that ordinary podcaster with the extraordinary thoughts that tells you to stop being great and be extraordinary. I'm Demetrius Thigpen, also known as Meech Speaks, and welcome back to another episode of the Talking Crazy podcast. Now, before we get started with this podcast, don't forget to head on over to your favorite streaming platform, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, and leave this podcast an honest review because this podcast deserves to grow just as much as we do. Now, I get so giddy. I'm getting like goosebumps, okay?
Right.
Because I remember recording in a closet. You see what I'm saying? Like recording in a closet. My mics, I had just got some real microphones. I had a recorder. You see what I'm saying? I didn't have shit else around me but like shelves, you know what I mean? And a little table that would just separate me and the guests from each other, you know? And in my earlier episodes, I had did an episode called Relationship Problems. I came back and did Relationship Problems again. Okay, so I did 2 relationship problems. All right. Why am I doing relationship problems? I don't know. I'm actually, fun fact, I'm terrible. Okay, do not take advice from me. But fast forward, I meet somebody, right? And this phenomenal woman, okay, we immediately hit it off. I'm talking about it's as if, you know when people tell you like they've probably met this person in a past life? I know for a fact that I met this woman in a past life. You see what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that we were broadcasters in the Roman Colosseum. You know what I mean? Like we were Gossip Girls at some point, you know, because the chemistry was amazing. And when I'm talking about, we did Relationship Problems 3, we did Relationship Problems 4, we did Relationship Problems 5, and we did a Relationship Problems 6. This was a frequent collaborator, a friend of mine, a confidant. God, man, like the list could go on. And it just brings me so much pleasure to welcome back Shenny Solis to the show. How you doing, Shenny?
Thank you. Oh my God, like you just filled my heart with that intro. Like I've never been introduced like that.
Dude, I'm not even about to lie.
Thank you.
Dude,
no, I love it because I mean, you know, we get these rare opportunities, right? Where we can like really just crack open our hearts and just tell that person, like, this is how much you mean to me. This is how you've impacted me. So thank you so much for that. I love that. Thank you. And I
No,
love that I'm
100%.
here again because very much needed. And I do remember being in the closet with you. Pun intended.
You
Because
know
I
it's so
saw the
crazy.
potential. I saw the potential since then. Like, do you, I mean, really think about it. Like you had this person, the opposite gender telling you, hey, get in this closet with me and like, let's just talk. Like, when you just say it like that, do you see how crazy that sounds? But that's how passionate you've always been. That's how much potential I saw in you even since then. So seeing your growth and seeing how much your podcast has grown since then, I'm just applauding you. I'm cheering you on wherever the hell you're at because there's always a little bit of distance. Where are you now?
I'm in Arizona right now.
Arizona. Okay, not too far. I'm in San Diego. But like there's always been, a little bit of distance with you traveling around. And wherever you go, I'm always going to be cheering you on. Be the loudest cheerleader.
You know, I be forgetting two things. First off, all right,
What?
I forget that once again, all right. For those who don't know, Shenny podcast at one point. You see what I'm saying? Shenny was also a influencer at one point. Okay, stepped away, disappeared on us like the last Airbender. So when you were giving me that, I'm so used to like trying to interject and create something that I'm like this. Damn, Shenny, like let me but you're like no, like take these fucking flowers already. And
Yes.
I just want to say it means a lot because I'm always grateful to the people that took a chance on me in the very beginning. You see what I'm saying? Like that took a chance on me in the very beginning. That believed in me, that wanted to sit down and talk to me because let's just be frank, dude. Ain't nobody about to get in the closet with me and had this full-on conversation,
Okay.
So it means a
And
lot.
an intimate one about at that, because it was about relationships and relationship problems and love languages and stuff like that. So not just any type of conversation, but an intimate one at that.
Dude, like literally, and not only that, I got exposed in Relationship Problems 3. You know what I mean? Like I got exposed because I remember you asking me, like, do you know your love language? And I was like, yeah, it's blue. And you were like, what? And I was like, what do you mean, what? Like that's not it? That's not what it is. It's
Oh yeah,
not
your
blue.
arrogance definitely shined on that episode. Like it just like arrogance.
I got so many messages like Meech, like, how do you not know what your love languages are? And I was like, I didn't even know. What are you talking about? I said it was blue. I said it was blue.
So for everybody now, what is your love language?
Words
Redeem
of
yourself.
affirmation. Words of affirmation, and my secondary is quality time. That's how I would like to receive love. How I show love is through physical touch and quality time.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Don't ask me to pour into you. Don't ask.
Right? What's funny is that I'm the same way as far as like words of affirmation. I love receiving words of affirmation. I don't like to give words of affirmation, even though everyone has always told me. I know. You're already scrunching your face. Everyone's always told me that I'm a great communicator. I have a way with words and things like that. I'm like, that's cool, but like, that was the skill that, it's a skill, like it's a muscle that you learn and you grow, I went to school for communications, so it's just like, yes, I went to SDSU to major in communication. So for me, yes. So for me, communication is an art, but it's a skill. You see what I'm saying? And so if you feel that you are not a good communicator, you can improve in that. It's just like, okay, I want to look good. You go to the gym, right? Same thing with being a good communicator. It's something that you can learn and something that you can build on. So that, to me, that's how I feel about my communication. I've just gotten better at it. Doesn't mean I like it.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that you went to school for broadcasting.
No, communication.
Broadcasting and communication ain't the same thing,
But yes, broadcasting falls under the umbrella of communication.
right?
So HR falls under communication, broadcasting, journalism, marketing, sales, translating, what's another one? Mediating. There's a lot of things that fall under the umbrella of communication, which is why it grabbed my attention and why I went to school for it.
Makes sense. It makes sense, especially because I've talked to you, I've interacted with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to turn the TV on or check out a channel or turn the radio on and hear you. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
come on now. And then you also have such a marketable name, dude. Like Shenny Solis. Like
I would just drop the Solis. I just want to be a one name person, like Cher,
Shenny.
like Shakira. Yeah, just Shenny. Just that's me. That's it.
I mean, you can go
Shenny.
by your full name.
No, I just want my first name.
You don't think
I've always
Jennifer
been
is
like
a
that.
marketable
Like
name?
Selena's one name. Shakira, Cher. Who's another one that just goes off for her first name, or they're like
Beyonce,
just one name? Beyonce. You see what I'm saying? Like
Rihanna.
everybody knows she's Carter, right? But Beyonce.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So, speaking of making sense, I'm not going to lie to you. All right.
Mhm.
Our last episode was 2020.
Years ago.
Yeah. 5 years ago. We did a big run in 2020. I'm talking about like back. If we were rappers, we would have been frequent collaborators. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Right.
back to back. Like if we were like in the music industry, me and you were
Constantly
like frequent.
featuring each other.
Yes. You know what I mean? Like we would have dropped a mixtape with a collab, you know?
Right.
So our last episode was 2020. And I remember like when you called me, first and foremost, I did not recognize the number, but I recognized the voice.
I'm dead.
For like, you gotta really hear me. Like I didn't
You know what's funny?
recognize the
Because
number.
like I do remember the hello with a question mark. Like, hello?
No, I said my rank. I was like, stats aren't thick, man.
Oh yeah. That's how I knew my phone number wasn't even saved no more. And I was like, oh shit, I did change my phone number. Hold up a second. And I was like, Meech and Shenny. And like I could literally feel the realization, like, oh, snap.
Girl, I almost crashed my car. I knew it was you before by the time you were about to say your name, it clicked. I was like, I know this voice from somewhere. And then when you said Shenny, I was so excited. Like it brought me, I ain't even about to lie to you. I'm a thug. People know that. But it really brought me
Emotional
to tears,
thug.
dude. Yeah, emotional.
Thug. We could be, I'm an emotional thug. Trust me. Like,
you know
just
what I mean?
because I cry does not mean I will not slap you upside your head.
Come on now.
Period.
You feel me?
Do not let these tears fool you.
At all. All right? At all. And I literally like teared up because I was just like, dude, like I was just thinking about you. You know? And it's just been such a long time since I've talked to you. First and foremost, like what has been new? What has been new? That's terrible. What is new? Like how that is terrible.
Let me start with saying why that phone call came about out of the blue.
Okay.
Which was, to give some context, I get off of work, I'm stuck in traffic, and normally you have Spotify, right?
Mm-hmm,
have you done the DJ thing?
Yes.
Love it. But this particular day, like, it was just like, what are you doing? Like, ew, no. So I was skipping more than I was listening, right?
Been there.
And then I paused it and I was just like, I don't even know what I'm in the mood of, like, listening. I was like, and I have to do something because I'm stuck in traffic. Like, what am I going to do? Light bulb goes off. I was like, I haven't listened to a podcast in a minute. Boom, I just put podcasts on Spotify. Yours popped up. Your newest one, your most recent one. And I was like, oh my God. Clicked on it ASAP. Didn't even hesitate. I was like, let's hear it, right? As soon as you open your mouth, apparently I needed to listen to that episode. You know how you like somebody needs to hear this? Apparently I needed to hear it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And you were literally like stepping on my neck. And I felt some type of way about it. And I was like, excuse me, sir, I haven't heard you in a minute. We haven't spoken in a minute. And then now you just gonna come from my neck like this? Nah, I need to talk to you. Like now, ASAP. Paused it and called you.
Man. First off, how from the very beginning to now, like, please tell me, like, how am I sounding now? Are we looking good now? Are we sounding good?
You know what, to be honest with you, I think, like, as far as like sounding, you sound the same, right? But I feel like your content and what you're saying, like it's more cohesive. I feel like you're more concise. Like there's less rambling. And not saying that the rambling wasn't good, but I just love that it's more meat and potatoes and like less fluff. So that's like my genuine feedback. Love it. So
you do know where that came from, right?
But I love, hold on a second, but I love that you still keep your attitude. I still love that you curse because let's be real, like as a veteran to veteran, we're both veterans, like you're gonna hear some fucking F-bombs, okay? Shit, bitch, all of that, because we like sentence enhancers. And I'm sorry, like maybe it's my toxic side, but that's what I respond to. I respond to a little bit of toxicity.
You know, two things. First off, the reason why like it probably sounds like I'm getting straight to the point now is because of the simple fact that I'm no longer showing up on air drunk.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
So I used to
new.
Yeah, so I used to show up in the very beginning when because I was nervous. You feel me? Like I was nervous, so I was just like, dude, like how do I, you know what I mean? But being drunk on air, I would be rambling. You know what I mean? And then over time, I started to be like this. All right, this is how a drinking problem, of all, this is how you develop a drinking problem. So let's figure it out. So I started drinking
being
coffee.
a stereotypical.
You know what I mean? So I started drinking coffee.
Like, drinking.
And so that's why I'm a lot more like bam, bam, bam. But I think the other thing that you had brought up is I respond the exact same way that you do. You know what I mean? In the sense of I would rather hear somebody cuss. I would rather hear a little bit more vulgar, a little bit more real, a little bit more straight to the point, a little bit more in the fire rather than dancing around it, because just like what you said, that's being in the military. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't listen to another podcast and they're talking about, hey guys, so, if somebody's bothering you, you need to cut them off. You need to set up your boundaries. No, I need somebody to tell me like, look, man, if you got a fucking problem with somebody, you need to address that shit. Okay?
Right.
You need to say, you feel me?
Like set those motherfucking boundaries.
That's it right there. I need somebody to come on and be like to set the motherfucking boundaries.
Right. And I'm the same way too, because I mean, like, I'm just not gonna take you seriously. It's almost like I won't even respect you if you're being too soft with me. You know what I mean? Because it's like then I'm almost offended. Like, you think I'm soft?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you think I'm a child?
Come on.
Do you
now.
think I need to be coddled? Like, I can handle this. Like, say what you gotta say and say it with your chest.
If there's something wrong, then I'll say something to you to tell you to dial it back.
Respectfully, though, of course.
Respectfully, of course. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because, sometimes people cross that boundary of like, let me curse versus let me curse at you. See, now we have a problem. Because cussing for sentence enhancing is very different than you cussing at me. That's the one thing we're not about to do.
You went from talking to come on, because you went from talking to me to talking at me.
Right. You see? You get it.
Now I gotta jump in and be like, hey, look, I'm in a vulnerable state. Like, come on, like, don't ease, ease up.
Tread
a
lightly.
bit.
Tread lightly.
You feel me? I allowed you to come into this house, but now you're getting way too fucking comfortable in here.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
But first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Now,
You
you know
see
what
the
I'm saying what's so
baby bump?
crazy? Yes, I can see it in your face. I can see it in your face. Yes, dude.
I know, right?
I can see it like literally in your face. Like
I know.
even if I didn't see your stomach, I could see it in your face.
Aw, damn.
You know. But you know what I'm saying what's so crazy is that, and I
Mhm.
remember writing it down. I was like, relationship problems. I was like, she needs a mom now. All right, like whatever relationship problems we fucking are having, that's not what this is anymore. All right, she needs a mom now. Okay.
The relationship now is like a mother and son, right? Like those relationship problems, right? And I wouldn't even call them problems. I feel like they would be like almost like relationship awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there are things that obviously as a parent, you don't think about until you become a parent, right? And one of the things that I feel like he's made me a better partner is that I think about I'm the role model for him and his future partner, right? Like he's looking to me for his future wife, what
Mm-hmm.
she's gonna sound like, right? How she's gonna behave. And if there's one thing that I will not do in front of him is raise my voice with my partner because I don't want his partner raising her voice at my son because then we gonna have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to save those problems in the future. Like I'm just not trying to catch a case and whatever, you know? So that's how he's making me a better person and a better partner.
No, you know what I'm saying what's so crazy? And I remember somebody saying this and it didn't click until I got older. But
Mhm.
what you look for in a spouse or partner, it's almost what you look is what you saw in your parent, you know?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I will say that my children's mother is just like my mom. She's just like it. You know, like same demeanor, same like, I'm going to stand on business. I'm going to say real strong, you know?
Right.
And I didn't realize it until until I met her. And then I sat back with my mom as an adult and was just like, damn, man, like,
There's some similarities here. What
you
up?
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
what I also realized is that what you show, you're going to show your child what to expect in a relationship. And what I mean by that, you're going to show your child how to give love. You're going to show your child how to accept love. You're going to show your child what a healthy relationship looks like. You're going to show your child what a toxic relationship looks like. And, so it's beautiful that you say like, I don't fight in front of my kid. You know what I mean? Like I don't have arguments in front of my child. You know what I mean? Because I grew up in a household where they was going back and forth,
Same.
But
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? What I also wish I would have saw more of affection,
Affection.
not with me.
Notice
I
how
didn't
we
need.
notice how we said it at the same time.
Come on now,
That's-
come on, because you already know, dude. Like, come on, Liv. You
we
knew
grew
that.
up. We grew up the same, cut from the same cloth. It's like because the affection that I saw was fake affection. It was fake, and I wish my parents knew that as a child I was smarter than they thought. You know what I mean? It's just I didn't have the verbiage. I didn't have the vocabulary to tell them like, I could read your bullshit, moms. I could read your bullshit, dad. But obviously I'm a child, so I didn't have the balls to say something like that to them, right? And so there were so many things that I was seeing that I had to keep to myself. But deep down, I was just like, y'all fake as fuck. And it was that old school mentality of, let's stick it out for the kids. Let's stay together for the kids. But they were both unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
They were both miserable. And it's just like, I'm glad now that, our generation and, other generations like Generation X and on caught on to that. And we're just like, no, we're just not going to do that. If we're not a good fit, we're just not a good fit and we're going to co-parent. And that's better for the kids than being in a two-parent household where two parents hate each other.
100%. I will go on to say that I wish that I would have saw my mother be loved more. You see what I'm saying? By a
Yes.
man. And it would have definitely, because I didn't see it until I became like 15. I think that's when my mom met my stepfather, who is a remarkable father figure. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have saw that early on,
Right.
seeing my mother be loved and seeing that affection. Because just like what you said, man, like, and this is something that I feel like we pick up, being these parents now. Girl, we the parents now. You feel me? We're the
We're
parents.
shaping the future.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to recognize right out the gate, like, dude, like, I'm smarter than what y'all think. Like, please stop putting me in this fucking box because
Mm-hmm.
you weren't tracking like the way that I'm fucking tracking. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I can
Mm-hmm.
read a room. My emotional, having emotional intelligence is a big thing. And kids have that. Kids can walk in a
Mm-hmm.
room and tell you like, yo, like something's off,
Mm-hmm.
And to try to like fake it, it's like, dog,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what I mean? Or just like what you said, like, faking it and staying in a relationship. What you're showing your child is that I could be miserable, but I'm going to stay for you. Fuck no.
Exactly. Because, one of the big things that I do now is like, for instance, me and my partner, we fight petty fights. They're not big fights, but they're stupid. Like, I don't like you right now. Like, why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
Type of arguments, right?
Mm-hmm. A little disagreements here
So,
and there.
right. Or just like, you really irked me right now, right? So I make sure that stays between him and I, right? Like, he knows I'm mad. He knows he done pissed me off already, whatever. And then, say for instance, in front of my child, he'll like try to test the waters. You know how men are. You guys go and touch us or, whatever. And I'd be like, I don't like you right now, sir. And what's funny is that that's allowed now my child to be like, I'm mad at you. Like, I don't like you right now. And I'd be like, oh, okay. Like, what did mommy do? You made me mad. Okay. Like, empowering him that it's okay to tell adults, to tell anyone, like, yo, like, I don't like you right now. Like, back up. Because those are the type of things that I didn't have as a child. As a child, you just had to be seen and not heard.
Mm-hmm.
That old school, like, do as I say, not as I do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I'm so, like, of course, being a communication major and all that, like, I want to make sure my child from this age, as soon as he starts speaking, like, he's using these words. And he's not just using them to, like, I want bottle, I'm hungry. No, like, what's going on with you? Mommy wants to know. And I want him to feel important and that his feelings are important. Like, my mom wants to know how I feel. And it matters. And I think that a whole
No, please go ahead.
generation
I'm sorry.
went through that we felt like our feelings didn't matter, that our voice didn't matter, which is really sad.
No.
And we're all, I feel like, unlearning all of that.
And I feel like you said something that just really stood out to me right there. You know what I mean? My feelings matter,
Mm-hmm.
A lot, man, I can tell you right now, millennials did not have that luxury. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, to most parents, a kid don't got fucking feelings. You know what I mean? A
That
kid
part.
don't gotta say so. You don't pay bills, so you don't gotta say so.
Right.
So what you sad about? You want me to give you a reason to be sad? And it's just like, oh my God.
And we know all the catchphrases, all that diminishes us, that, deflects the situation, that disregards us. We know all the phrases.
Mm-hmm.
And we know what it feels like. And we just, all of
100%.
us shut down.
That's the one right there. It taught me how to fucking shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it taught me. That when I was upset and you reacted negatively to my emotion of being upset, it just taught me to shut down. All right, back.
Let me guess. One of the phrases that comes here, why does it matter? What's the point?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. That's it right there. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
And
You just stop fighting for yourself.
yes. You know what I mean? Like, and now what you don't realize is that I didn't do it as a child. So do you think I just magically started doing it when I became an adult?
Right.
No, I learned how to fawn. I started fucking fawning. So now I'm in a room with people and I'm upset. Clearly I'm upset, but I'm not about to vocalize it because I don't want to fuck up the whole energy in the room.
Right.
And that is one of the biggest pieces right there.
Mhm.
So just to go back to what you had said, you know, one thing that me and my children's mother, like, we do a lot, you know,
Mhm.
if we have a disagreement, we having a disagreement right here. Because now, once again, now let me stop for a second, because a lot of people may hear that and may think like, you know, fucking bitch. You know what I mean? When I say we having a disagreement, like, bitch, you
Right
lost your
now, like,
motherfucking, you know, like, you lost your motherfucking mind with me. No, that's not the type of fucking, that's not the disagreement I'm talking about.
right.
But if we, you know, if it's, you know, if we have a disagreement, we're going to have a disagreement. We're going to talk about it. You know, we ain't yelling,
Mhm.
but we're going to do it in front of the kids, you know,
Mhm.
because the kids have seen me love you, but they also need to see how we resolve our problems. The kids have
Conflict
to see
resolution.
us. There it is right there. Because they only see us love each other. They only see us love each other.
You don't know how many adults I deal with in my position, because I
Mhm.
manage people that
We gonna
do
get to
not,
that.
I know, right? That do not have conflict resolution skills.
It's a dying scale.
It is. So
Mhm.
it's like they know that there's a problem. They know that they need to talk about it, blah, blah, blah. And they might be right. They might be totally in the right on how they feel, but you're not right on what you are about to say. You see what I'm saying? Your feelings are valid. I'm not denying that, but your words ain't right.
Mhm.
And so, especially because I'm in a corporate setting, especially in a corporate setting, you don't know how many times people will get in all types of, trouble because it's like, ooh, you shouldn't have said that. Like you were right until you were wrong.
Mhm. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, I've been there. I've been there. I tell you that right
Right.
now. I've been right until I
And
was
that's a hard
wrong.
pill to swallow. That's a hard pill to swallow because you're right. Like you know that this person, XYZ, and you're right.
100%.
But you didn't know how to emotionally regulate yourself enough to find the right words and
Mhm.
address it correctly and get
Mhm.
it fixed and get the results that you want, that apology or that acknowledgement or whatever it is that we're seeking, right?
Oh, 100%. You know, and that's one of the main reasons why, if they see me love you, they see me affectionate with you, they see me cater to you, they see me court you, they see that. They also have to see when we have our disagreements. You know what I mean? If it
Yeah,
get
they
too
have to see
heated,
the
we gonna
good, the
step
bad, and
away.
the ugly.
They have to, because it's good. It's about to come full circle. It's gonna come full circle. You gonna see us resolve this. But here's something that being a parent taught me. Let me rephrase that. Here's something that I wrote in my book of parenting. I didn't pull from a page. I had to write this. I learned to apologize to my own children. If I'm wrong, if I fuck up, if I overreact to something, if I misjudge something, and they correct me on it, my bad. I've
That's on
learned
me.
that. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's on me. I've pulled my son off to the side and said, "Hey man, my bad, dog. Like, I shouldn't have done that." You know what I mean? Or you're right. You were right on that situation. You know, I've corrected myself. That's something that old school
We never
parenting,
got.
hell no.
Their form of apologizing was, you hungry? You want to
You
go
want
to
to go to the
McDonald's?
store? You want to go to the store? You want me to get you that thing that you want? And what does that show me in the future? You know what I mean?
Right, that I could be bribed.
You can
Like,
beat my
that I
ass and
should
then
be-
give me a gift, and that's it.
Right. And who does that? Narcissists. Gee, thanks for setting me up to be with a narcissist.
You know, and this ain't no shade. This ain't no shade to the parenting back then because they just doing the best that they could. Emotional
With what they knew
intelligence.
and what they had.
You feel me? The DSM back then said that postpartum, it didn't even have postpartum depression. So
Right.
they working with the things that they had back then. However, we have the skills, the technology, the resources, and the experiences to know, like, I don't give a fuck if he's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I'm wrong, I have to admit it because he has to see accountability as well. He has to.
And because it's also another human being. Period. Just let's take it to the bare foundation. That is another human being. This is one thing that, and I really wanted to say this for everyone to hear. One thing that I've learned as a new parent is why do we, and I really want somebody to answer this question for me, okay? Society, please answer this question. Why do we have more expectation on little humans that are learning than we do on grown-ass adults that should know better? Please answer that question. Why do we frown upon a dysregulated toddler who's learning? Like this is what they're supposed to do, okay? Versus a grown-ass person, grown-ass adult having a grown fit. Oh, then all the excuses come through. Oh, maybe they had a bad day. They had a mental illness. She
They're
didn't
dealing with some
eat.
stuff at
She
home.
didn't have her coffee. But we don't give that same grace and courtesy to a child
Who's dealing with emotions they only had them for what, a couple of years?
that they don't even know how to name, first of all.
They don't know what these emotions is called. Discontent?
They don't have
Anger?
the same toolbox that a grown adult has.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm supposed to give a grown-ass adult more grace than my own child? You out your mind.
Come on now.
You out your mind.
Come on now. Now,
It is.
one of the biggest things, because I got girls and I got little boys,
Mm-hmm.
and I've learned, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I got a child right now. My daughter will throw a fucking tantrum. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like she throw her a tantrum that I've
Mhm.
never seen before. I've never seen it before, and I've had to sit back and just talk to her like, dog, like I'm gonna talk you through this, but I mean at the same time, like, yo, like man, you gotta, when you act like this, you get ugly, dude. Like you get ugly. All right.
Oh.
I'm honest.
Right.
When it come down to parenting. I tell her, I'm like this, oh, look, man, like I get it. You're mad, but you get ugly. You need to have some self-awareness with this. I don't know if you see yourself. I don't know. All right. Like, I don't know who need to hear this, but that tough love shit ain't just for the boys. That tough love going to the girls too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I feel
You
like it's
know?
the opposite. Well, I don't know. I don't have girls. I only have a boy right now. And I don't know what's in the oven. They could be boys or girls. I don't know.
Or both.
But I know, or both, right? But with my son, I know that. Okay, first of all, let me start with what I thought it was gonna be like with my son. Okay, so old school mentality, right? You know, you got to be tough with the boys. Boys are tougher than girls. All of that, da 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 da. Right? So I thought, oh, okay, sir, like try me if you want to, right? As far as parenting, and I have the sweetest, kindest little boy, and I cannot see myself being the same type of parent that, these old school parenting was, as far as like being tough on him and being an asshole with him and yelling and screaming. Like, no, like I've noticed even with like my mom friends and stuff like that, that boys are actually more sensitive than girls. And the way that I was like, oh shit, like, when I came to that realization, I was like, and it took me off guard, by the way, too. I was like, whoa, I have to shelter this. I have to nurture this and I have to protect it at all costs. Because guess I have to toughen him up, but I'm not going to toughen him up like by me his own mother being an asshole to him, being a bitch to him.
Mm.
Because the world is already going to do that. I'll let the world handle that. They're going to do that. So why would I, his safe space, also be contributing to that? No.
You know, it's so crazy. And I'm so happy that like you brought that up because I said that, you know, tough love ain't just for the boys, it's for the girls. You know what I mean? But I also want to throw in there that affection isn't just for the girls, it's also for the boys as well. Like, believe it or not, I'm actually very affectionate when it comes to my son. Like, very, like, and you know, in like masculine ways, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to dap him up, you know, I'm going to tell him, like, yo, like, your haircut, you know, is exactly what it is, you know what I mean? I hug him, you know what I mean? I show him affection, you know, so that way he already knows, like, okay, so this is what healthy affection looks like. You know what I mean? This is what it looks like for my dad. All right. My dad, every time I come to my dad's not always like, hey, man, hurry up, damn piece of shit. You know, he's going to show me love. My dad, if anybody about to show me love, you know, just excuse my language. If any of these niggas out here, I know for a fact my dad going to show me love. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
And I feel like, just like what you said, you know, the world already going to be tough on you. The world already going to try to beat you down. The world already going to try to tear you apart. You know what I mean? Why is it that you got to be in the household and I'm the one that's doing that as well?
Exactly.
I have to build you up, you know? I have to give you the tools so that way you can go out there and defend yourself. But I also have to... God, man, like I tell you right now, Shenny, between me and you, I had to teach him how to fight. I had to just teach him how to fight. Not because I felt like boys needed to know how to fight, because he said something one time and I was just like, you know what? You're going to say that to somebody and they going to hit you right in the mouth. Okay? And because you don't know how to fight right now, you ain't going to never say it again. And that's just going to be a domino effect of you losing confidence. So I have to teach you how to fight.
You know what's funny is that I literally have my son's little like boxing glove right here. Like I'm already teaching him the same thing. I'm just waiting for him. I'm just waiting for him to get old enough, which is next year, to put him in boxing because my son's gonna be a short king. He's gonna be light skinned. Already two things against him where, you know, we all know kids are assholes. Kids are fucking assholes. So his dad is short. I'm short. So he's going to be short. Like the tall G's,
1 + 1 is 2. Yeah.
Right. Like, it's just not going to happen. Right. It'll be a miracle if my son is taller than 5'6", 5'7". Okay. So it's looking like 5'6", 5'7", which is pretty short for me. Right. So I'm short. I think you got to apologize to me. Like, his dad got to apologize to him. Because I don't got to be tall.
I was beating myself up because I was so scared that my son was going to be short. I was scared because I'm like 5'10". I'm 5'10", 5'11" on a good day. His mother has tall uncles, you know, which are good signs. However, her father is about 5'8", you know, but my dad is 6 foot. So I'm like, dog, like something's gotta.
So you were just like really in limbo. Like you were just like, I don't know which way this is going to go.
You know, and I was scared because I was like, if you're 5'8", bro, like you're short. But hearing what you're talking about, what short is, I'm like, nah, he ain't going to be, you know.
Exactly. So that's why to me, it's like, no, like you don't have a choice. Like you have to know how to defend yourself.
You have
both
to.
verbally and physically, especially as a man. So, because like girls, we could get away with just knowing how to defend ourselves verbally. So we could shut you down and that's it. Like a girl would be like, like, yeah, go. It just works. We don't always have to get physical, right? So girls can get away with like not knowing how to fight and it'll be fine. But boys, no, there's no way. There's no way. So, yeah, so I'm literally waiting for him he turns 4 at the end of this month. And so I'm waiting for next year so I can put him, because that's as young as you can put him in boxing. And he's already showing interest. He already wants to do it. He has the energy. I'm like, great, perfect. And this is what I regret. My son gave another kid a black eye.
Hell yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. So crazy. I don't know where he got that from. I don't know which side or whatever, but
I'm proud for him. I mean, just let me hear the context, and then I'll let you know. Like, I'm already.
Well,
proud,
I have
but,
no idea because it happened at daycare. So they gave me like no context of like what happened. All I know is that this kid got a black eye, right? And I was like, is it a black eye or just like, they were like, no. Eye shut, swollen, black and blue. Like, I'm talking about, like, I don't know if he grabbed something and like, what was a punch? I don't know. Nobody saw it. Obviously, everybody just heard the aftermath of probably like the, so, and I was like, okay, so obviously, his daycare, the director, whatever was, spoke to me, spoke to his father, and was like, you guys need to talk to him. This can't happen again, type of deal, da-da-da. And I don't give a fuck if anybody judges me as a parent about this, but like, let me tell you something. My biggest regret was having that conversation. I should have never had that conversation.
What do you say?
The reason being is because it was the very first serious conversation I've ever had with my son. And I told him, never to put his hands on people and da-da-da-da-da, right? We don't do that. You're in big trouble, whatever. I forgot how we punished him. I think it was like maybe like no TV or something like that, right? So this was like a serious offense in the household. His dad knew about it. My partner knew about it. My mom knew about it. So that everybody in every house he went, like that punishment followed through. Okay? So he really felt it. Now there are days where he comes back from daycare and he'll be like, Rocco hit me. And I'm like, what did you do? He's like, nothing. My biggest regret is having that conversation because it was so effective that now he'd much rather just like, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to hurt nobody. Because like, he obviously realized that he really hurt. Like, I'm talking about like, when I finally saw this kid, like a couple days later, and I was like, and I asked one of the teachers that thankfully spoke Spanish, and I was like, she's like, I'm not supposed to tell you. Like in Spanish, she's like, I'm not supposed to tell you, but yeah, that's him. And I was like, oh my God. She's like, yeah, it was pretty bad. And thankfully, the other parent took it really well. And that's how they know that they have a piece of shit kid. Because I'm like, because let me tell you something. If my son comes home with a black eye, like, I want to fight. Because I know the type of child that I have.
What's so
what I'm
crazy
saying?
is that I've been on both ends of that. Because you gotta think about it, like, so I was fighting at one point of my life, you know what I mean? So the skills that I taught my kid, especially like my son, I had to teach him how to fight. I've had the conversation of him beating a kid up, but I've also had the conversation of him losing a fight. All right?
Right.
Oh, that's a rough conversation.
That's so rough.
It's a rough conversation. Rough. I remember his sister coming in. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I remember his sister coming in and like, she's like, Connor's nose is bleeding. So-and-so hit Connor. I'm like, damn, bring him in. I'm kind of nonchalant about it because I try not to blow out of proportion unless I need to blow out of proportion,
Right.
And he come in, nose is bleeding. First thing I tell him, hey man, go clean that up. Go. You ain't about to have a conversation with me with blood coming down your fucking face. Go clean that up. And I hear what happened. I'm like, all right, so tell me what happened. He tells me what happened. I was like, how are you standing? How are you standing? And he was like, I was standing like this. I was like, no, you weren't. how are you really standing? He was like, I was like this. I was like, and that's why you got hit like that. That's why you got hit like that, you know? And
So you took
I
it as a learning opportunity for him.
took it as a learning opportunity, you know, because of the simple fact that I'm exposed to this. I've had black eyes, I've had busted nose. I have to learn to be able to take these experiences, you know. Now, switch gears. I've also been the parent where my kid gave a kid a black eye, you know. And I did the exact same thing that you did initially, you know what I mean? Where I'm like, hey, don't do that. But then I pulled him off to the side and I was just like, hey, look, what am I teaching you this for? Am I teaching you this to be able to hit kids, or am I teaching you this to defend yourself? He's like, I'm teaching this so I can defend myself. I said, 100%. I'm also teaching you this so you can be able to speak the way that you want to speak and do the things that you want to do, you know? Somebody step out of line, somebody step out of line. But at the exact same time, as long as you're doing it within the left and rights, you should always be good, you know? And
How do you have that conversation with a 2.5-year-old?
A 2.5-year-old?
That's how old he was. 2.5 when he gave his first black eye.
You want to know my honest opinion?
I should have left it alone.
You want to know my honest opinion?
Go ahead.
I wouldn't have had that conversation.
I know. That's why I regret it. Now you see why I regret it.
What am I about to tell my 2-year-old? Girl, I thought the boy was probably 4. I thought this was a recent thing.
No, he's just turning 4 at the end of this month.
He would have got a no, don't do that, and we would have kept it pushing.
That's what I mean. Like that. If I could go back, that's exactly what I'd be like, you know what? You shouldn't have done that. And that's it, period. And just kept it rolling.
I'd have sent a text message to the parent, my bad.
I turned it, that's what I'm saying, but I turned it into this huge conversation with consequences, everything. And like, the way that he shut down, it still bothers me right here. Because let me tell you something. You can dim their fire, but you cannot spark it. I'm going to say that again. You can dim their fire, but you cannot spark it. They have to do that on their own.
Can I interject?
And so, yes.
You can also enhance it, though. And the reason why I say that, and I say this as a parent, you got to give yourself grace on that. You feel me? This is your first kid. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, you a boy mom. You know what I mean? You a boy mom. You know, the rules change a little bit when you raising boys. The
really
rules
does.
change because all hell breaking loose. All hell be breaking loose when you raising boys. You know, when you raising a girl, you feel me? Like you like, oh my God, baby, come here. You know, but when you got boys, boys, them motherfuckers is one step above a wild animal. One step above.
Right.
The only difference between them and the wild animal is the fact that they got opposable thumbs. That's it.
And my biggest fear was that, you know, he was going to get too comfortable and start getting everybody black eyes, you know? And then I was like, then I'm going to have to find another daycare. And so I was the one that worked myself up. You know what I mean? I definitely was the one, that was like, and I should have just like, I'm telling you, it's my biggest regret. And lesson learned, because you know, if I have boys now, like, and they do that shit again, it's probably gonna happen again. Cause anger runs in my family. It really does. There's a lot of angry people in my family. Sparks fly, and I mean, not even going too far. Like my father is literally known for bar fights, fist fights, getting in the fight. This is the 90s, of course, getting in the fight with cops and shit. Like that type of, you know, unfiltered anger. So I already know in my kids, like, anger is the one emotion that I'm going to have to work with them for a very long time. You know? And how to manage that and how to regulate that.
And that's it, really. You know, it's just learning how to manage it, learning how to regulate it. You know what I mean? I say that because when it's your first kid, I hate to say it like this, but that's really what it is. We're a trial and error species.
Right.
It's trial and error. I promise you,
Are you the first child?
No, I'm the middle child. But see, and this is the thing though, is me and my older brother are 15 years apart. So by the time I came into the picture, it was almost like a hard reset for my mom. You know what I mean? Like where I technically was essentially her first child again, because she had been out of the game for 15 fucking years, but
I'm the baby, but like me and my siblings, we're 10 years apart.
I remember that because I know your brother's like 10 years older than you.
Yes.
And I say that because I have 4 kids, my youngest is 2. My oldest is 12, The mistakes I made with my oldest, I didn't make those same mistakes with my 10-year-old. And the same mistakes that I made with my 10-year-old, I'm talking to my 6-year-old and navigating emotions with her. With my oldest, I was like, hey, nip that shit in the bud, man. We ain't doing that. You know what I mean? There's a sit down. That's a 6-year difference.
And now I understand why parents have a special place for the oldest.
Yes.
And at first I was like, oh, that's favoritism. Don't sit here and tell me that's not your favorite child.
You wasn't with me shooting in the gym with him.
But now that I'm a mom, I get it. I'm like, okay, he's not your favorite. What it is that there is a different bond. It's like it's mom guilt. Like, let's just fucking call it what it is. It's just mom guilt. Because I know that I'm going to carry mom guilt with my son for the rest of my life. Like, that's just, I've already accepted it, right? Like, I know that there's things that I'm going to do or I'm doing or did that's going to fuck him up. Whatever. That's part of human life. You know what I mean? We're all doing the best that we can with what we know. In the future, he's going to tell me, Mom, this is where you fucked up. This is where you got me all fucked up.
I promise you, that's exactly where my kid... I promise you my kids are going to come up to me when they get older talking about, I don't want to do that because I didn't like the way you did. Hey, look, man, you could have did it my way or you could have did it Big Wanda's way. All right. I chose to do it my way. All right. I did the best that I could with what I got and what I thought I knew,
Right.
This parenting shit, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. But I feel like if we're learning as we go and we're not making the same mistake twice, then we're good. You feel me? We're good.
As long as they don't come at me for things that happened before then, right? It's like, because I realized this with my parents, is that anything before me or before I can really process things correctly, right? For me to come to my parents and come at them for certain things, right? That's making me their equal. And therefore, I see it now as like, that's me disrespecting them. Because at the end of the day, I was a child. I didn't know better. I didn't know what mental state they were in, what the financial circumstances were, how desperate they were, what was their mental state, how much support they had. Like, there's so many different variables that made them choose whatever they had to choose. And now I want to talk 10, 15 years later about this when they probably don't even remember why the fuck they chose to do certain things or say certain things.
Do you understand what you just said? I don't mean to cut you out. Do you understand what you just said right there?
I said I can't be disrespectful like that.
Man.
No?
Do you know how easy it is for us to be able to go? And I'm pretty sure whoever's listening to this, it's so easy, especially now that we are parents, to be able to go back and throw it in our parents' faces. I didn't like the way you did this. I can't believe you did this. I wish you would have did this better.
I'm better than you because I do this and not that.
You know what I mean? But you said some shit that's a reality, not just for them, but for us as well. You don't know what the fuck the bill's looking like. You don't know you don't know how desperate I am right now. You don't know what type of support I'm having right now. You don't know you don't know the fact that I just worked a 12-hour shift, came home, and you was on some bullshit. You don't know. You didn't understand the stressors, and you couldn't understand any of that until you were in it. You feel me? Good example. You upset because I couldn't bring you a lot of presents on Christmas. You don't fucking know. I had lost my job. You feel me? I lost my job. The little bit of shit that I was able to put under the tree was all I had. That was all I had.
Or there was an emergency right before Christmas. Fucking transmission blew out in the car.
You talking about you don't want to eat spaghetti, but all I had was enough to make spaghetti because I knew that the spaghetti was going to last for us for a couple of days.
All these little things that add up to our childhood. And it's just like, you realize how disrespectful you are being when you try to level with your parent. You're never going to level with them. You have to know your place. I am their child. Even though I'm an adult now, I'm still my mother's child. I'm still my father's child. So I need to know my place. So it's like they need to know their place now, right? That dynamic changes, right? Because I'm an adult. But that doesn't mean that I stop being their child. And I think that's something that we forget. Once we grow up and we have our own family and stuff like that, it's like, I hate to say it like this, people are not going to probably agree with me. Like, know your place. Know who you're talking to. You still got to honor your parents. You still got to respect them. Period.
Can I say something without contradicting you?
What's that?
Our parents gotta know that, you know, that kid, that sweet grandbaby that they love so much.
Right.
Hey, man, you gotta understand that's my child. That's my child.
Facts.
Hey, Mom.
This isn't your turn to redeem yourself.
This ain't your redemption arc though.
Right? No. Definitely not. Definitely not.
I told him to go
Don't do
sit the
that.
fuck down. I told him to go sit the fuck down. So guess what he about to go do, Ma? He about to go sit the fuck down.
Because
okay?
I told them that.
All right? Because guess
like,
what?
Don't,
After he
don't
done
come
with this
in my
weekend,
house contradicting me.
You see what I'm saying? After he done with this little weekend with you, he gotta come back here.
You just proved my point. Again, know your place.
There it is.
Know your place. I'm not going to disrespect you as my parent. Don't disrespect me as your child. That's now a parent. You see what I'm saying? It goes both ways.
I won't disrespect you as a parent, but I don't want you to disrespect me as a parent.
Exactly.
You feel me? I need you to I have given you unconditionally respect. I need you to give me that exact same type of respect now because I got to raise this little motherfucker. You get him on the weekends.
Look, you fucked me up. Now it's my turn to fuck him up.
You know? In my own way this time.
You had all kinds of liberties to fuck me up, okay? Who stopped you? Who intervened in your parenting? Okay. All right. So I'm going to need you to stay in your lane.
Ma, you don't see this F on his report card?
That's literally what I had to tell my mom. Because she was like, I think, because I do raise my voice. It's not like a full-blown yelling, but, you know, I'd be like, hey, you know, that type of raising voice. And because the thing is that with my son, he gets 1, 2, 3. And then my final warning is like, hey, do you want Mean Mommy to come out? And he already knows Mean Mommy is Mean Mommy, right? He'd be like, no. I said, then you need to listen. No. Oh, okay. We don't want to listen. No, don't yell at him. Don't do that. Stay in your lane. Because you about to get Mean Mommy too. Everybody can get Mean Mommy.
My favorite thing is seeing the dynamic with my son's mother and him. You see what I'm saying? And then me interjecting. And I've had to tell her, I was like this, he know that he can go back and forth with you. You gonna go back and forth with him all day. You gonna go back and forth with him. He know he not going back and forth with me. He ain't going back and forth with me. He got one time and it might go to a different level that he ain't even trying to go there with.
But you know what's funny? I see that in every culture, in every household. That's it. Mom is the comfort. Mom is the safe space. So they're always with mom. Gonna act way more wild, act crazier, go sideways, go make
Dad
a
ain't got
left.
none of that fucking patience. Knock that off.
Exactly.
Knock that
Exactly.
off. I know you heard what your mama
Moms
said.
always give too much grace. Moms are way more patient and da 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 da. Because trust me, when his dad comes in, like, hey, I be like, see, now you done fucked up. Now dad getting involved. Even I walk away. I be like, what? Daddy's talking.
You know what's so crazy? I hit my son with this. I come at my son from this angle. It's not, you ain't about to be disrespecting your mother. So let me get this straight real quick. You think that you about to disrespect my old lady in front of me? That's what you doing? You disrespecting. So you gonna talk to my old lady, you feel me, in front of me, right? So not only do you not respect her, you don't respect me. You raising your voice at my old lady, and you think that I'm not saying nothing.
Right.
And he like, nah. I'm like, no, because you thought you was talking to your mama. You ain't know that she,
She's more than that.
You feel? She's more than that.
I love that. Oh
She's more
my
than that.
God, I love that. Please continue to do that. Remind these kids that, she is more than just your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all they see. They just see mom.
They just see mom.
Right.
And I don't want her to look in the mirror and just see
And that's
mom.
also a great example for how he should be with his partner.
You see what I'm saying?
Back her up, protect her. Good job, man. I love that.
You know?
I wish more people did that. I wish more dads did that.
Man, dude. You know what's so crazy is that I was wondering how we were going to do a relationship problems episode, and you took that and you were like, you know what? Let's talk about parents. And I said, fuck, man. God. Oh, wow. You know?
Because we all in it. We are going through it. I mean, millennials are the new parents right now. So
We are.
Why not?
We are.
We're the most unserious parents, though. I love it for us.
Oh, my God, dude. Like,
I love it. We so petty, comical, but we're also what I love about it is that we're also super committed on learning all the bullshit and really breaking generational curses. And shout out to us, to all the millennials that really in here doing the fucking work.
I love that. I love that. But with that being said, as we come to a close to this episode, Shenny, do you got any last send-offs?
Why you put me in the hot seat? I wasn't ready.
It's okay. I already stopped recording.
Okay, good.
No, I'm lying. We're still live. I'm lying. We're
you
still live.
lying.
We're still live. We're still live.
No, other than let's definitely not go another 5 years without doing this, okay?
100%. 100%.
For this.
And just like that, another extraordinary thought left this ordinary mind. I hope you enjoyed this episode half as much as I enjoyed making it. Don't forget to head on over to your favorite streaming platform, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, and leave this podcast an honest review because this podcast deserves to grow just as much as we do. Also, don't forget to head on over to TikTok or Instagram and follow me at Meech Speaks. That's right, Meech Speaks. Meech is spelled Meech. Stay motivated, stay healthy. I'm out.